Good morning everyone, Mr. Killer's here. I'm actually in London again today because I've actually been off for a few weeks as I've had an operation on my shoulder which has prevented me from actually coming out using my camera. So I'm actually decided to come out today to see if I can try something different. I'm going to try and actually shoot some B-roll because I think I'm going to need some of that for my channel. And at the end of it I'm actually going to try and have a go of actually creating a sort of mini tourism vlog, and hopefully it all works. So I invite you to join me. For the video today I've only got my DJI Action 4 and my Osmo Pocket 2. This is primarily because of my shoulder problem. I still can't use my camera properly. So I'm going to use the Osmo Action 4 to catch all their point of view of shots. And I'm going to be recording my B-roll with my Pocket 2. So I'm just going to do a few B-roll shots here and get one sweeping shot of the Houses of Parliament. I'm hoping these are okay because I've actually forgotten my ND filters for the Pocket today, so we'll soon find out if I'm good or not. So I'm just going to do that again. So it's always worth shooting a few attempts because you never will get it right the first time. And we're going to do this now. I find it busting there, which is quite good, and then move on. Do short little bursts because obviously basically short little bursts because obviously you only want like 10 to 15 seconds, and then you can actually sort of hopefully overlay that. And I like to sort of overlay the photos and maybe do voiceovers if I have to, but we'll see how we go. So that's Parliament Square and Westminster. And I'm now going to move on to the next location. Okay, we've just come across the Westminster Bridge now. Usually I'd come down and go through an underpass, but at the moment the underpass is closed. So I'm just going to walk around here, get some shots down here on the Osmo Pocket 2. Again, just some sort of B-roll shots. Again, hopefully they come out okay. And then I will be moving on further down to the South Bank. So we'll just try to get a couple of shots from here. Hopefully it all works. So that's it, I've forgotten the ND filters today for the Pocket 2. So we're going to have a go and see how we do anyway. But yeah, so I'm going to try to get a picture here of the bridge. And over the House of Parliament as well. So I'll start the actual camera to one side. And slowly pan it across, and hopefully we'll get some shots that we can use, and yeah, could be good hopefully. Just do one more. So I'm going to use follow mode, reset the gimbal, and start recording. And hopefully this will give me what I need to have some extra B-roll. Okay. We'll move on. Okay, I've walked further down the Jubilee Path now, and I've now come towards the end of where the South Bank is, towards Joxo Tower and near Blackfriars. So I'm now actually going to just get some pictures, some B-roll here of the Thames with St Paul's and the city skyscrapers in the background, including the Sky Garden and Leadenhall. So we're going to set up the camera, and we're just going to start now. We've got a nice boat coming through here, which is helpful. I'm going to follow the boat, and we'll see we've got St Paul's and the city in the background. Right. I'm just going to walk along here and get to a different angle. That's how I'm still trying to, hopefully this will all work, because I've forgotten the ND filters today for the pocket, but we'll give it a go still anyway. That's how I've come out. That's how I can't use my camera, my actual camera, I can't lift my arm very high. This is what I've got available to me. So I'm just going to reset the gimbal on here again, and just hand slowly around and get the view of the city and St Paul's. And we'll end it around a bit to the beach. Okay. So I think that's enough. Let's move on. Okay, so I've actually made it down to the Tate and Millennium Bridge at St Paul's. So I'm just going to do a couple of B-roll shots here and see what we can get. So yeah, so I'm walking around here to see what sort of views I can get, because obviously I want to get some different angles if I can. So I'm just going to just get some views from the bridge itself with St Paul's in the background. So I think that would be a nice iconic shot. Just recentering it. Okay, that just zoomed in as well. So we're just going to do this. So we'll focus on the bridge, get some people walking across the bridge. And all the way around till we get St Paul's back in the background. Okay. So I'm now going to move on to my next location. As I've said in the past, the Hayes Gallery is a great place to come, because in the summer, I say, it gets very, very busy because they put out the food places, but also it's a great place to get some shots. So I'm just going to use the pocket to try and get some shots across the river, and I'm going to try and zoom in. The zoom on this isn't as easy to work with, but it's a very small screen. I have big fingers. Yeah, he's wanting to go to video mode. There you go. I'll try to zoom in again. And out. So there's a nice picture of the video of the sideline there. I'm going to walk along here. I'm going to get a view of Belfast, and then make my way down to Tower Bridge and get some shots of Tower Bridge as well for B-roll purposes. And So here we are, this is in Belfast. And in the background we can see Tower Bridge. Okay, I'm just going to walk across Tower Bridge now. But I'm going to try to get some B-roll of the views from the bridge itself. I apologise in France now actually, because I was realised actually I've been trying to film 2 videos at once here. Because I'm trying to do one for my channel to sort of explain my process of what I'm doing, as well as also the content for the actual travel vlog I'm hoping to put together at the end. So I do apologise if I don't copy you in all the areas I'm doing B-roll. I will try and remember to do it where I can. But yeah, say it's trying to do 2 things is always too much for my mileage today. Plus I think also the heat's not helping because it's a very, very, very warm day today. So bear with me, and I'll say I will show you as much as possible, and also at the end hopefully I'll be able to show you my little travel vlog. If not, I will just do a montage if I can of the B-roll I've collected, put onto some music maybe, and it'll be interesting to get people's thoughts on it. So I'm going to sign off here now, and then I'll catch up with you later on. Another place in London obviously is Covent Garden, so I've come down here to see if I can get some more sort of B-roll shots here. Hopefully maybe I'll probably just the atmosphere of the place, and some of the entertainers that are actually on the streets, and obviously just some sort of everyday shots you'd expect to see around this area. So I'm going to take them on my pocket too, and we'll go from there. We are now in Leicester Square, the entertainment capital of London. Here you'll be surrounded by cinemas, theatres, restaurants, and even events happening in the square itself on different times of the year. Obviously this is where they hold all the movie premieres. They had one just the other day, and so they shut all the square off for that. But yeah, it's a bustling place. There's some statues in and around the square, but you can sit down and have photographs taken with them. And obviously, yeah, you'll always find somewhere to eat and drink around here. And obviously there's plenty of entertainment. There's the cinemas, you've got the theatres to sort of catch a West End show. And you've also got casinos, and also loads of shopping as well, because obviously just around the corner from here is Piccadilly Circus, which is based out of London's Times Square. And obviously off there you have Regent Street, which leads onto Oxford Street for all your shopping. Definitely a bustling part of the town. Okay, we arrived at Piccadilly Circus, home of Eros, and obviously the famous advertising display boards. So this is pretty much London's answer to Times Square in New York. If you go up here to the left, you'll see you have Regent Street, where you've got all the high-end shopping and stuff down there, and at the top of there will lead onto Oxford Street. And right opposite here, down Piccadilly, you have things like Fortnum and Mason and the Ritz Hotel, and if you keep walking down to the end you'll end up back at Hyde Park Corner as well. So if you were visiting Hyde Park during your time in London, if you're here, nice open spaces just to go sit down, relax, get away from the hustle and bustle of the main city. But this is also obviously a very good place just for basically location wise, because obviously it's Piccadilly Circus Underground, comes straight to here, It's effectively just a roundabout, so it's an artery to all the different parts of London. Because you walk straight down in between Eros and the display boards, takes you straight down towards all the theatres, heading way back down that way. So definitely a very good place to actually come and visit. Yes, it's a very manic, but yeah, it's iconic again. If you come here, you can't not come and see Piccadilly Circus. Obviously, no trip to London would be worthwhile if you didn't take a walk up the Mall, all the way up to Buckingham Palace. You can get to here just from the Admiralty Arch, which is down by Trafalgar Square, or you can come in from Hyde Park Corner, come in from the Wellington Memorial, and walk all the way down through the park, and then actually come to the gates of Buckingham Palace. Obviously, Buckingham Palace is the official residence of the King, and you can always tell if the King is actually in residence because they'll be flying the Royal Standard at the top on the flagpole. If the Royal Standard is not flying, the King is not in residence. Obviously along here, it's not quite a nice walk along here. You've actually got some statues here of the different monarchs and stuff like that as well that have been here, because obviously basically this is all effectively the King's driveway, and you'll have Clarence House to the right of it as well. And Buckingham Palace Gardens pretty much go way back to Victoria train station. So obviously if you want to get the train here, the nearest stations I would say are Hyde Park Corner, Green Park, or in Victoria. They're all just a few minute walk away from here. Or obviously Trafalgar Square itself has its own train station, and you can get off there and obviously walk them out like I'm doing here. So you can see we've got all the Union Jacks flying. Just beware, this is not always a option to walk in the road. It's quite commonly cars driving up and down this constantly, but today they have shut it off because they've got some events in and around the area, so they tend to do that obviously for safety and security. So hopefully you found this of interest today. This has been my first vlog of doing my hints and tips of things to see and do around London. Most of it is actually, I've shown you today, can be done for free. You don't have to pay to go in the places. But obviously, if you want to see more of them, then by all means, basically book yourself a ticket. Because most things I've taken you to do, shown you today in this video, I have actually been to them, and I can recommend pretty much all of them. I've done them all on multiple occasions, so I highly recommend coming to London, exploring, taking it all in. I mean, to do it all, you need a good few days here. To get a good experience of it, you can do it in probably 3 or 4. But I think if you want to do a lot of the things like the museums and the galleries, then obviously you need to obviously plan more and probably would have to be here a bit longer. But yeah, so you can see the Union flags are flying all over the Mall, as always. Yeah, and if you have found this helpful, please like, subscribe, comment if you want to see more content like this, and also any advice or criticism or things you'd like to see around London, which I might have to sort of do, because I mean it's always permitting on what you're allowed to film. Some attractions do not allow filming from within inside them, but I always try and do things for people. If they want to see it, I will do my best to find out if I can, or at least I'll give you a go do a review for you and stuff like that. So this is something I'm looking to try to do more of. I promise I'll get better at it. But yeah, if you're interested and want to see more, then by all means please subscribe and comment. And in the meantime, I'll leave you to it, and thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Thank you.